2013, Mark Anthony. 2013 marked the first year the IFBB introduced the men's physique division at the Mr. Olympia. The division required board shorts instead of posing trunks and emphasized a streamlined, aesthetic, beach-ready body rather than the extreme mass of the open category. The judging criteria focused on shoulder-to-waist ratio, overall symmetry, and stage presence rather than maximal muscularity. Mark Anthony, originally from Trinidad and Tobago and competing for Canada, entered the year with the most dominant competitive record of the division's debut season, having won nearly every show he entered. His taper, balanced proportions, and early understanding of the judging standards made him the clear frontrunner. On September 28th in Las Vegas, he became the first men's physique Mr. Olympia champion, establishing the baseline for what the division considered an ideal physique. 2014, Jeremy Buendia. In 2014, the division shifted significantly as athletes and coaches began to better understand the judging standards. Jeremy Buendia teamed with elite coach Hany Rambod, known for producing multiple Olympia champions in other divisions. This partnership refined Jeremy's conditioning and posing precision. He clashed with Sadiq Hadzovic, a Yugoslavian-born athlete known for superior flow and posing control. Sadiq entered the year far more conditioned than in 2013, displaying improved serratus detail, oblique separation, and mid-back density, areas that judges were beginning to scrutinize more heavily as the division matured. Although many believed his stage presence could win the contest, Jeremy's shoulder width, extreme V-taper, and tight midsection aligned more directly with what the judges were codifying as the men's physique standard. His 2014 victory effectively set the new benchmark for the division's ideal shape. 2015, Jeremy Buendia's second title. 2015 marked the third consecutive showdown between Jeremy Buendia and Sadiq Hadzovic. By this point, the men's physique division was evolving rapidly. The board shorts were gradually getting shorter, revealing more quad detail, which encouraged athletes to adopt a slightly leaner and more complete lower body aesthetic. Conditioning standards tightened with a growing emphasis on visible serratus detail, clean oblique lines, and crisp separation across the delts and upper chest. Jeremy entered the year with the advantage of not needing to qualify through pro shows, allowing him to structure his entire season around perfecting his Olympia peak. In contrast, Sadiq arrived with refined symmetry and posing mastery, bringing one of the most polished stage presentations in the division. Despite the closeness of their physiques, Jeremy's superior V-taper, more exaggerated lat width, and trademark vacuum-tight midsection allowed him to retain the title. This season also marked the first major appearances of Ryan Terry and Brandon Hendrickson, two future champions who brought distinctly different structures and would each influence the division's progression. 2016, Jeremy Buendia's third title. As the 2016 season began, Jeremy Buendia had already secured two back-to-back titles and was establishing an unprecedented run of dominance. With Sadiq Hadzovic switching to the newly created Classic Physique division, a major obstacle was removed from Jeremy's path. His physique this year showcased more refined density through the chest striations, sharper oblique cuts, and one of the narrowest waists the division had ever seen, a structural advantage so significant that many early analysts considered it biomechanically superior for men's physique standards. The competitive landscape shifted, with Ryan Terry advancing to second place due to improved mid-back separation and stage composure. Other emerging contenders, such as Brandon Hendrickson, Andre Ferguson, and Logan Franklin, indicated a generational turnover, with a new cohort possessing taller frames, wider clavicles, and a clearer understanding of the division's emerging criteria. 2017, Jeremy Buendia's fourth title. 2017 became Jeremy Buendia's most decisive victory, earning a remarkably low final score of 5, one of the most dominant margins in men's physique Olympia history. Andre Ferguson, who placed second with a score of 11, brought elite conditioning and a crisp, dry aesthetic, but still could not match Jeremy's unmatched shoulder width and torso structure. Jeremy's 4 consecutive titles solidified him as the division's first defining champion, demonstrating a combination of genetic advantages and strategic coaching that the rest of the division spent years attempting to replicate. Experts at the time noted that Jeremy's proportions, especially the width-to-waist ratio, were so exaggerated that they reshaped what competitors trained for, pushing the division toward broader shoulders, more detailed backs, and even tighter waistlines. 2018, Brandon Hendrickson. In 2018, the competitive landscape shifted sharply when Jeremy Buendia entered the season injured. A torn pectoral muscle limited his upper body fullness and symmetry, two qualities essential to the division's judging criteria. With just 12 weeks of preparation, he and coach Hany Rambod attempted a final push for a 5th title, but the imbalance caused by the injury made it clear during prejudging that a new champion would emerge. Brandon Hendrickson, who had debuted at the Olympia in 2015 and improved steadily each year, arrived with a refined front shot presentation, sharp abdominals, a narrowly cinched waist, and one of the cleanest shoulder-to-waist tapers in the lineup. His structure, combined with year-over-year improvements in mid-back density and posing efficiency, positioned him as the athlete best aligned with the division's evolving standards. He secured his first Olympia title, becoming the second man in history to claim the men's physique crown. 2019. Raymond Edmonds. 2019 continued the pattern of turnover at the top. Brandon Hendrickson aimed to win his second title, but appeared off during prejudging, lacking the crisp midsection separation and front pose sharpness he showcased the year prior. This opened the door for 2 major threats: Andre Ferguson, known for elite conditioning and razor-sharp muscular definition, and Raymond Edmonds, who possessed a dramatically different structure from most competitors. Standing 6 feet 1 inch, Raymond was the tallest top contender the division had seen up to that point. His height allowed for a uniquely stretched V-taper and long muscle bellies that created a visually dominant silhouette from multiple angles. Combined with his improved stage discipline and refined back detail, he became the clear frontrunner. Raymond's victory represented one of the most significant structural shifts in division history, proving that taller athletes, once considered disadvantaged due to longer proportions, could win when they balanced their frames with sufficient width and conditioning. 2020. Brandon Hendrickson's second title. The 2020 Olympia moved from Las Vegas to Orlando due to global restrictions, but the competitive narrative remained sharply focused on the battle between Raymond Edmonds and Brandon Hendrickson. Raymond entered as the reigning champion with dominant back width and lat detail, excelling in the rear shot transitions that judges weighted heavily. Brandon countered with one of the most polished front poses in division history, marked by clear abdominal tiles, clean oblique lines, and a precisely controlled ribcage expansion that enhanced his taper. Throughout prejudging, it remained unclear who held the edge, as both men excelled in opposite strengths. However, Brandon's improved balance between front and back shots, combined with superior midsection density, allowed him to reclaim the title. His second Olympia win marked him as only the second multi-title champion in the division's history. 2021. Brandon Hendrickson's third title. 2021 introduced a major new threat to the division: Erin Banks from Fresno, California. Banks entered with some of the most dominant back development men's physique had ever seen. His rear lat spread displayed unusually wide scapular expansion, long lat insertions, and clean lower lat detail, traits rarely combined at such a high level in the division. His rapid rise was notable. He earned pro status within his first 4 months in the sport, demonstrating an accelerated development curve that analysts commonly attribute to his unusually responsive back musculature and already elite shoulder width. Standing 6 feet 2 inches, he also possessed a structural advantage similar to Raymond Edmonds, but with more density and a more mature upper back look. Despite Erin Banks' overwhelming rear dominance, the judges determined that Brandon maintained a more complete physique from all angles. His superior flow, midsection density, and experience in pose transitions allowed him to secure his third Olympia title. 2022. Erin Banks. By 2022, Erin Banks returned with a singular focus: dethroning Brandon. Banks carried momentum from winning the Arnold Classic and the Boston Pro earlier that year, demonstrating that his physique could peak consistently across major shows, a trait historically correlated with eventual Olympia success. His improvements included enhanced shoulder caps, a thicker upper chest, and a more balanced shoulder-to-waist ratio when viewed from the front. Meanwhile, Brandon's front pose remained world-class, but as he held poses during prejudging, his back began to lose dryness, particularly in the mid-lower lat region. This fading condition created a visible imbalance between his front and back shots. Erin Banks capitalized on this shift. His rear dominance, combined with improved symmetry and more disciplined posing pacing, gave him the clear edge. Judges rewarded the most complete physique on stage, and Erin Banks won his first Olympia title. His victory marked a pivotal moment. For the first time since the division's earliest years, back development, and not front shot sharpness, became the primary factor defining the champion's look. 2023. Ryan Terry. 2023 saw the resurgence of longtime contender Ryan Terry. After years of near misses, including a second-place finish early in his Olympia career, he entered 2023 with major structural improvements. Historically, Ryan's back had been his limiting factor, lacking the width and depth required to contend with athletes like Banks and Hendrickson. This year, however, he arrived with a significantly improved posterior chain, deeper mid-back separation, thicker erector detail, and a more complete lat sweep. These improvements transformed his silhouette, allowing his already elite front aesthetics to be supported by competitive rear shots. Brandon Hendrickson also entered 2023 determined to reclaim his title, showcasing a heavily striated back and refined posing timing. But despite his improvements, Ryan Terry's newly balanced physique outperformed him in symmetry and proportion, with cleaner transitions and a superior overall shape. Ryan Terry achieved what had eluded him for nearly a decade. He won his first men's physique Mr. Olympia title. 2024, Ryan Terry's second title. 2024 marked the first Olympia lineup in a decade without Brandon Hendrickson, leaving Ryan Terry, now the defending champion, to anchor the division. His primary challenger remained Erin Banks, but a new contender emerged. Ali Bilal, a 29-year-old athlete from Afghanistan. Ali had placed 16th the previous year but made one of the most dramatic single-season improvements ever seen in men's physique. His enhancements centered on midsection control, waist tightening, and better oblique definition. These changes significantly improved his front pose impact, allowing him to stand beside Ryan Terry with comparable visual density and symmetry. Ryan Terry entered with further refinements to the area that once held him back, his back. He showcased deeper lumbar separation, more pronounced lower lat thickness, and a smoother taper to the waist. This gave him a more complete posterior silhouette, allowing him to outperform Ali and Erin decisively from the back poses. While Ali challenged Ryan from the front with clean abs and sharp overall aesthetics, the judging criteria prioritized balance and completeness across all angles. Ryan's improved rear shots, combined with his consistent conditioning and veteran-level pose timing, secured him another Olympia win, solidifying him as a late-career champion with one of the most enduring competitive arcs in the division's history. 2025, Ryan Terry's third title. In 2025, Ryan Terry clinched his third consecutive men's physique Olympia title. The contest took place at the 2025 Mr. Olympia in Las Vegas. Terry delivered a dominant performance across front and rear shots, scoring a remarkably low final tally of 5, a score comparable to the most decisive wins in division history. His main rival was Ali Bilal, whose improved midsection, tighter waist, and clean aesthetics challenged Terry's reign. However, Terry's refined posterior chain, including deeper lower lat thickness, sharper lumbar separation, and matured erector detail, allowed him to outclass Bilal from all angles. Terry's improved back development reversed what had once been considered his structural limitation and transformed him into the most well-rounded champion in the division. His third win also elevated him into a select cohort of multi-title men's physique Olympia champions, aligning him alongside and even surpassing earlier legends in terms of longevity and consistency at the top. The 2025 victory thus marked not only a hat trick, but a moment of structural and strategic evolution for Terry's physique, confirming that he had successfully adapted to the division's shifting standards, wider backs, tighter waists, and complete front-to-rear balance.